G'day mates, and welcome back to Aldrin's Space Program Manager. So today we are back. Now after a little bit of I wouldn't call it a rage quit, but I wouldn't call it too far off that either. Last episode we are back. I've loaded up the most recent save, which was an auto save, and that number looks different. I suspect this is probably before we launched that final disastrous mission. So we've had one failure, we've lost a couple of astronauts, and we're down to our B team. But I don't think I've necessarily launched the... I'm not sure. We may not have launched the second mission because that prestige was 16,000 and I believe it was down into the 4 digits after the other failure. So we're back where we are. So we've had one failed launch. Yeah, we definitely had one failed launch by the looks of things. So I'm not completely Iron Manning it by the sounds of things, but I didn't save after the last one. I had a bit of a, I wouldn't call it a hissy fit, but I was not impressed, and I left. Holy shit, I never knew this was here. Holy fuck, that's so cool. I'll have to go through and read these. Actually, I'll give you guys a couple of seconds to pause on each one if you're interested, and I might go through and read these at some point in the future. This is really cool. I never knew this was here. I've been playing this game for several years now. I've put many dozens of hours into this, and yet didn't even know this little thing was here. It's a shame they never had, I think there was DLC planned for some of these later planets to put some fictional or more modern missions in, but unfortunately that never came to pass, which is a little bit sad, I guess. I really wish this game had sold a bit better and the devs had followed through, because there's so much more potential in here. They've put, there you go, it doesn't even have anything for these two, for must be Uranus and Neptune, if my space knowledge is correct. Either way, after my little mini semi-hissy fit at the end of last episode, we are back sort of Iron Manning it. Now, obviously, I could replay this mission to fully Iron Man it, because there is guaranteed, it's saved in, so I can't just run this again and save scum it. It will guaranteed fail next time as well. But I'm not that much of a masochist, especially on Buzzhard mode. So the question is it a guaranteed failure for everything, or can I launch something else? I'm not sure. I'm inclined to actually give this one a go and try and fly this one again. It's 79.9%. So Lunar is 81.7 and this one's 78.1. So it definitely seems like there's an emphasis on the Lunar rather than the Lunar booster, the Lunar module I mean. But I think we'll schedule this one. We'll give it a go. Assemble now. We'll auto-assign our best people onto this and confirm the assignments. Excellent. Now these people here, let's have a look at them. Actually, I need to know all of them. In 4 seasons, you're going to train. So looks like you're doing non-stop training. You'll be back in 1 season. You look like Hero from that old TV show. You actually look like a developer for, what's that game called? For Mio and Taxes. You look a bit like Gigow. If you guys have ever seen him, if you play EU4 at all. I think we're going to go for... Do I want to train them? That's the question I'm asking myself right now. Do I want to train these people for a couple of for 1 turn and then try to relaunch Gemini next turn? And I think the answer is going to be no. I think I want everybody back. So you can sit here. The problem is it does bring their morale down, leaving them here. So 83, 70. It's getting a little bit low, but it is acceptable for the time being. I think for now we'll manage. I'll end this turn and we will hope for the best. Hopefully this mission doesn't fail, because that would be kind of shitty. Vostok is leveling up again. So we'll launch this mission and I'll see you on the other side. Hopefully we can get ourselves 2,500 prestige from it. Beautiful. We had a sort of a semi-failure at the end there, but our spacecraft systems guy managed to bring it under control, which is a good job. With that, our A team has succeeded where our B team failed last time. So mapping of the lunar surface, which is good, level 1. I think we can get higher levels later on. We've got a lunar flyby, and we've got ourselves the lunar 3 and lunar probe. So the actual core ones are this lunar probe, which is valuable. Lunar flyby is important, and mapping of the surface moon level 1 is also of a secondary importance. Lunar booster is good. Let's have a quick look at our people here. This guy here, Fernando Friedman, he's the one who saved us right at the end there. Spacecraft systems did fail, but he managed to bring it under control without me having to spend any additional money. So very, very happy with that, Mr. Friedman. What have we got here? Oh, nothing spectacular, I don't think. Launched and finished. Successful mission. That's good. Things are ticking over. Okay, so with that, we've opened up a whole bunch of other probes, but it's the short duration lunar expeditions that are really important to me. I'm not going to be opening any of them up just yet, but these now are available, so we can start thinking about how we want to do this. We've of course got the Gemini version of it, and I think that's probably what I'm going to go for, considering that we're not going to have as much prestige. I can't go for the Mercury, Gemini, what was after that? I think it was just the Apollo. The Apollo really has a whole heap of different parts to it. I think what we're going to push for is a Gemini direct ascent. So I'm going to try circumlunar Gemini, do a lunar orbital Gemini, and then we can do the Gemini direct ascent. I could possibly do the EOR, which is if I remember correctly, it's like a jetpack. What does it say here? Yeah, small lunar lander and a propulsion unit. So it's basically like a little, let's have a look at it. Yeah, this thing here, it's like a little mini jetpacky sort of thing to allow one person to get down to the moon and back. It's a 2-person mission, but it's sort of like a stripped down version of Apollo. I think we'll skip that. That's somewhat cheaper than the others, as you can see. It's actually not as cheap as direct ascent. Why is that? That's a cheaper maintenance, that's why. So the actual design and concept of it is more expensive. We're not just iterating, we're doing a whole revolution. But it's cheaper to maintain overall. Of course, the Soyuz I could do is cheaper to maintain. That's because that doesn't take you to the moon, that's why. What do I need here? So the Russians only have 2 versions here. We've got the direct ascent LK700, which is a massive, massive undertaking. I think we will avoid that. Or we can do the equivalent of the Apollo, which is the Soyuz lunar landing one, L3. I like the direct ascent. I think direct ascent is how I'm going to go. It's my favorite one, and it's definitely quite an interesting sort of a setup. Let's have a look at this one here. Again, I'm jumping ahead of myself here because none of this is going to happen until we get much, much further. But I think that's what I'm going to push for, which means that, let's think about this. What do we need? An uncrewed orbital test flight. So we don't actually need to do the impact or anything like that. The impact is just going to give us additional prestige, which will be very, very handy. Now, if I have a quick look, we've got 2 turns left, if I'm remembering correctly. 3 turns left. So we'll launch one, which will make us to 2 turns left. We'll launch another one, which will take us to 1 turn left. And I think we can launch a 3rd one, which, because it happens in between the 1 and 0 turns remaining, it happens in that intermediate period, I think we can actually gain the prestige for it before the turn of the next turn begins. It happens in between the turns. So I think we can get 3 more launches if I'm hoping that I'm understanding this correctly. So if I were to now consider let's go back actually. I've done this here. This has nothing else that can be done. I can gain an extra 325 prestige now. It's just not worth keeping the Lunar 3 anymore, so I can close that one down. I've still got the Lunar 2 available, which is a bunch of prestige, a small amount, but definitely some. We're looking at here 2,800, so I've done this already, so it's 400 knocked off it. So I can still gain remaining prestige from it. Lunar Impactor apparently does nothing. Not very, I guess crashing into something isn't as impressive as I'd like. Interesting. Study the soil. Close up of the moon. Yeah, this one here for 2,800 is relatively low risk. I think I'll do that though once I've done this, I need to get Gemini going. This is going to be a big push here, and I think that's been done. I need to get this orbital flight done because I've got 3 launches remaining. If I can get an orbital flight, takes me up to 20,000, maybe 21,000. Then I can do orbital flight. You require orbital flight to be done. You require orbital flight. So it unlocks a whole bunch of different options here. Docking. Okay, that requires a few other things to do. So I'll need to do one of these two, I think. Oh no, you can do orbital flights as well. So I can do EVA. EVA and docking requires too much. EVA duration requires extended duration level 1. Extended duration level 1 it requires far too much. You can't handle a negative 20% failure rate. So I've got 3 options to me, I think. Yeah, I've got 3 options available to me. I have, once I've done the orbital flight, I can do spacewalk duration 1. I can do orbital rendezvous with a crewed vehicle, or I can do EVA and orbital rendezvous with a crewed vehicle. If I have a look at those, that's going to take me to 21,000. That would take me to 25. Yeah, 20. Oh, hang on, no, I clicked the wrong one. Haha. So it reset it. So spacewalk would take me to 31. And then this one would take me to 42, possibly 43. Oh, fuck off. I should stop reorganizing this. The alternative is this one here, which would really take me up, but you got to look at all the components and things that can go wrong. We've got 2 separate launches here that would require a Vostok. The Vostok is easy enough to do. So if I were to use the Vostok, I then have a standard launch and an EVA, followed by a second launch and another EVA. There is a lot that can go wrong. And then each of these then has to re-enter. So we're looking at several stages here. Should be an info. Yeah, we're looking at 27 individual stages. So you go around, you launch one, you launch the second one. They then have to dock in orbit, separate, and then one's got to land, followed by the second landing. It's too many steps, I think, for such low reliability stuff. But I think we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. For now, I have to do the orbital flight. There is no way around that. Regardless of what I'm doing, I need to assemble this orbital flight. I need to put my best people in here. I still need a better person here, but I just don't have one. But everyone else is pretty good. So the FAO, whatever the FAO role is, he's only involved in spacecraft A and B. Wait, what the fuck mission am I doing here? A and B. I'm doing... I'm not sure what just happened there. Let's double check that. Let's go back into Project Gemini. We're doing an orbital flight. I want to schedule the mission. We're going to assemble this. We're going to pick our best candidates. You are doing... I don't understand what's going on here. What's A and B? What mission are we doing? Let's confirm this. I got no idea what could possibly be happening here. Either way, if we look at this, we need... piloting and leadership are important. So I'll pick my best person for the leader, which is going to be pretty much Del Hennicut. And then I'll pick... It says pilot, but he only has to worry about his actual piloting skill. It's not the best I've got, unfortunately, but Bob Ruoko is going to have to be the man. I think our other guy is training, so I'll confirm this. Oh no, he died, that's it. Our best people died, so we've only got these guys, our B team. 7.8, which is still making us a bit of profit after we shut down that other one. And we're going to have to run with this. This is all we've got, I think. I can probably train this remaining person here. Marla Field. I'm going to stick you on You did trajectory in GNC last, but I'm actually going to train you up in mission operations because we're missing a few people from some of these lower ones. Okay, let's end this one. Oh, no, of course. Oh shit, okay, they finished training. So these are our space probes people, probably to do with the fact that I shut down one of the lunar programs. So let's have a look what we've got available. Crewed spacecraft, that is pretty much at maximum. I could level that one up a little bit more. In fact, I think I might put our space probe people on this. Anyone who's above 100. Above 90. So those guys can keep working on that. That'll get us an extra 2%. And I'll be using the Agena target field shortly. I may as well get our other space people. You guys are rocket people. I could open up a program earlier and have them start doing it, but I think I'm better off just training them in whatever their top thing is. Rockets, I think rockets are no longer going to have a use for us anymore. I think there's not going to be a use for these anymore, so I'm going to train you instead in maybe I do want rockets, because I want to do stuff for prestige, space probes and stuff like that. Fuck. I'm going to get you in space probes anyway. I'm going to cross train you. You are going to go in space probes as well. You are an interesting one, but I'm actually going to put you more on EVA suits because we're going to need a bunch of that done up for the next one, for when we go to the moon. You can... Your crewed spacecraft is pretty good. I'm actually going to bump that up just in case. Maybe we can do some cycle training if we have to. And of course, you're decent at EVA suits, but I'm actually going to focus you on space probes as well. Maybe we can get like a sun probe or something done as well, or a Venus probe or a Mars probe for additional prestige in the next cycle. There's no more time in this current cycle. So let's have a quick look here. We've still got people training. Might have to pull him out of training. Oh, it's basic training. It's going to take him a while. They're our new hires. Because these guys are going to be tired. These two will be tired, and we'll have to go on to our really crappy B team, our C team actually, while these other guys are training in. So things are not looking good at the moment. Definitely not looking good. Either way, let's cut out of here and let's go on to the next season and see how we go. Hopefully here, we're going to succeed. If I fail, there's not much I can do. I'm going to have to... I don't know how to fix it if I fail again. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. That frustrates me like you wouldn't believe. To fail on the first step and not even have a proper description of what happened. Mission step outcome successful. Okay, we failed on the second step. The countdown. How we failed the countdown, I don't know. Maybe someone went 5, 4, 2, 3, 1 instead. They just had to abort the entire mission. Did that kill my people? It wasn't a catastrophic failure, so perhaps they're not dead. I did lose prestige for it, which pisses me off. But... fuck off! Okay, how can we solve this? I think our only chance now is to launch the Luna 2 and try to recover some of that. Auto assign our best people again. We'll confirm this assignment. And... I mean, we'll launch. That's all we can do. They're... fuck off. These people are going to have to... I guess I'll just keep training crewed spacecraft. We're going to need that to be as high as we can get, because these guys are going to effectively work on our lander with effectively no money. So it's going to be very, very tight. We're not going to have the prestige to do this. What do I need to actually fail? 6,200. Okay, so we're going to have a very low budget. We're going to have a budget of about 8 or 9,000, I think, at this rate, unless I can get a I just need something to work for me. Man, I don't know what's going on. Let's monitor from mission control. There we go, crashed into the moon at high speed, very high speed, and got a bit of prestige out of that. So effectively what this does is, when it hits the moon, a huge cloud of dust will come up, and it allows us to sort of pass light through it and actually look at and see what the composition of the moon is made of. Structure of the moon, and lunar soil, and of course we get close-up pictures. So the thing, as it was coming in, would have been taking pictures the whole time. So we did manage to crash something into the moon, which has gone some way to upping our prestige. Now we've got no choice here. I obviously need to end. There's no other missions I can do for here, so I need to end the lunar impactor. We have to succeed with Gemini. We need to do something. An orbital flight is going to give me 5,000 prestige. The real question is, do I want to risk doing something else, like how much am I losing if I do this? I need to find out. If I do a spacewalk, I'm only losing 5%. If I do this, I'm only losing 5% as well. And what's that giving me? It's giving me 11,000. And if I'm doing the docking, I'm losing 15. That's way too much. Crewed vehicle one, I'm getting 11,000. Wait, I already did that. Which one haven't I clicked? This one here. I'm also losing 5% with the EVA and an orbital rendezvous. That's giving me 17,000. So that's a huge risk. But that will actually put me up to 32,000, which is acceptable. Fuck, I don't know. I'm really not sure what to do here. I need to think about this a little bit. Oh shit, look at the time. Okay, well what I have got is an end of an episode coming up. So yet another cliffhanger for you people. So I need to think about this and consider whether I'm going to risk. It's only a 5% negative. So in the grand scheme of things, 5% isn't much. So the question is, do I risk something? Because doing a mission for, hopefully if I succeed, for what are we looking at here, for 6,000 prestige is going to be a small benefit, but succeeding, if I do succeed on something that's either 10, 11 or even 17,000, if I decide to go for this one, that's a big mission though, would be a phenomenal victory, absolutely incredible. If I did that, it would do a long way to, I guess, bringing back the prestige that we've lost, because I'm never going to get to 43,000. There was no way to do that in one go, but I can help to, I guess, replenish some of the prestige I've lost on these failed missions. I've got the 3 people I need, which means I can't actually do this one. If I think about it, I can't do the 17 one because I require 5 people. Yeah, so I need 5 people for that. That's not happening. So the question is, do I do the orbital flight for 5,000, or do I do one of these for, it has to be this one, for 10,000 prestige? It's going to be a big if. This one can't be done. It's a big if, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do just yet, but it's a toss-up between them, and I'm going to need to think about it off camera for 5 or 10 minutes and just sort of run the numbers and see whether I think it's worth it. So take care guys, I've been Blxz. This has been Buzz Aldrin's Space Program Manager, and it's been annoying the absolute shit out of me. Hopefully it's been more entertaining for you guys. Take care, and I'll see you next episode.